Hello to all of our life learners and happy new year. Today we are doing our follow through episode on the Business of Life Masterclass podcast from our interview with Amy Burton. Her original episode aired on November 18th, and the topic is knowing your body and expanding your limits. The timing is perfect, and we are looking forward to telling everyone what we did. Barb Zant here, media sales leader and founder of the Lifestyle Brand. Stay at work, mom.
Hi, everyone. It's Debbie Lundberg, performance and mindset coach and resiliency coach with Presenting Powerfully. Hey, Barb, what a dynamic experience. Of course, we both, after it aired, got to experience an in-person workout with Amy too. You and have known Amy for a long time, and you brought her to me and kindly gifted me an opportunity to work with her. And what a dynamic passion she has for things. So what were some of your key takeaways? I know you've known Amy for a long time, but specifically from the podcast, what were some of your takeaways?
What I loved is I've known her for a long time, and I used to work with her, but this was in a new way with her business, and the theme of the episode and the theme for the beginning of the year and the way we start our year. And I think you repeated what she said, and basically it's a movement. So
Mhm.
move your body. And
Yeah,
so
move your body.
that was her theme is like, no matter what you're doing, get out and walk at the minimum, get out and walk and move your body every single day. And even, I've listened to the episode a couple of times, and I mean, I feel healthier just listening to it.
She has positive energy. She's excitable. She's an expert. There are a lot of those things. And a couple things that I did with, certainly she got me to track my food differently from getting to work with her. And she mentioned on the show how, it's like being mindful. We talk about, we could use a lot of M's with Amy, movement, mindfulness.
Movement matters is what she said.
Movement
Movement
matters.
matters.
Yep, she did. So movement matters. And, I say mindset matters. Also, what you put in your mouth matters. And
Yes.
it's that aspect of, I think sometimes people hesitate working with somebody because they feel like they're going to feel guilty or they're not going to be truthful. And Amy mentioned how tracking things is so good. And she's really spectacular. I know it's not a sales pitch for her, but if you don't want to do it on an app, like I created my own form, she has a lot of knowledge, and yet she's flexible in how she uses it. And it came through in the podcast and the fact that she was like, do something, and I think that's part of it. So something I did that I don't normally do is I even parked farther away, and I thought, okay, even though I ran that day, I thought I have time allotted. Let me park farther away. Movement matters. Move and get in there. And even when you and I traveled together, we parked way out. Now we almost had to, but then we parked even farther out, like off the road, and walked in because it's like you might as well. I mean, it's almost like Amy makes it so clear and simple that if you can move, do it. And if you think you can't, you're wrong because you can do something. I mean, she really does allow for that, doesn't she?
Yeah, and the tracking is everything. And I love to track. I track what I spend in my time and the time blocks and all the things. I find myself, if I eat something I shouldn't, then I'll stop tracking. But and she would have me on the step count because I used Amy when I was, and I'm still working with her to prepare for the hike that I did, and the step count every single day. So yeah, I remember that when we parked it, I'm like, it was a short day of steps for me, so I was happy to get that extra movement in. So always tracking that. So, and we'll talk about it more when we have our rewind coming up next week. But water was a thing with several in the morning. So
Hmm.
16 ounces, by 7 a.m. And that definitely helps me get to my water goals, because if I don't hit the water goal in the morning, it's too hard for me to catch up before I go to bed, because then it wrecks my sleep.
Yes,
So it's so important.
what I did with that when Amy was on the show is we have somebody else in the Awesomeness Squad who was challenged, who told me she was only drinking a couple glasses, but once we did the challenge and I challenged her to do 100 ounces of water a day, I found out she was really only doing 1 glass of water a day. Now
Oh my
she's over
gosh.
100. So I took it upon
Oh
myself
no.
to utilize Amy's. And even though I typically drink that much, I tracked it to your point and to Amy's point, and I got another person involved. And I think that's part of, Amy didn't say that so directly, but that's certainly part of her personality and part of her offerings and her 3D workouts is that if you have other people there and they're counting on you, that accountability aspect was there. So I did that with somebody else who's been on the show. I will not name her name. She probably wouldn't mind if I did. But now she's drinking 100 ounces of water a day and finding the difference too. So not only did I do that, I started doing just standing literally at the sink and drinking a big one right when I got up. And most of our life learners, our listeners know I had that thyroid cancer diagnosis and had the right side removed. So I take medicine in the morning that you're supposed to take on an empty stomach with water anyway. So instead of just a little cup of it now, I guzzle that down. I make sure I get up early enough though that I can go to the bathroom before I go for my run because that is, like you said, at night, it can be an issue. For me, it is in the morning. And I mean, I jokingly think that while the house is being constructed since we lost everything, there's a porta pot there that if I could drive by it getting to Bayshore,
Yeah, going for your run, it can be your halfway point.
it could be. So Amy, I think that's part of it is I liked, it's not that it's easy, it's that it's simple. And she has a simple approach to encouraging people, which is very positive, which is very much, yeah, there's the accountability, and she does it in a way that is very uplifting. And it came through on the show. I mean, her energy of her voice, she shows a lot of gratitude. I mean, there are all these things that all of us can remember that if we stay positive and we show gratitude and we do the simple things, in the long run, we will see change over time.
Yes, one of the actionable items for me that I'm still doing is the Yucca app.
Mhm.
I don't love it because I had so many of my snacks that I thought I love the app actually, but it tells me that my healthy snacks aren't as healthy as I thought they were, or having
Yes.
too much sodium, too much processed. But it does give you alternatives to buy. And I also organized and cleaned out my pantry because I would find a soft moment or a moment where I'm like, I'm going to have something that I shouldn't, and just not having them in the front helped me because I can't remove everything. My son doesn't isn't on the same whole journey as I am, so I can't get rid of all the Oreos. But having stuff in the back, I just moved the levels and labeled it. But I really like the Yucca app, and I use it pretty much every time I'm in the grocery store or someone shows me something. And more times than not, uh, what I was buying, I change in course and redirect to where they're leading me.
Yeah, we laughed a little bit about it sounding like an ad for all these apps, but at the same time, if you can, we track what's important and what's important we measure, and when we measure it, it can be either altered or it can be rewarded. So, yeah, let's give Amy credit for getting us all to track a lot of things, to be aware of these. She has a new venture coming out and we'll promote that certainly as it's coming out about things for kids and some other exciting things she has about people being mindful and health minded no matter what their age. I mean, her 3D is really focused on premenopause, perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal women, and yet she worked with you and Chris, your husband, before your trip. So she does work with men. She does work with kids. She's got a faith-based or group as well. So, if you're looking for someone who walks the talk and really has a lot of energy, certainly listen to Amy's first episode or re-listen to it because she gives a lot of those it's not only energy, it's the nuggets that you hear in what she's saying too. So I know I'm appreciative she was on the show. It's a great way to do our follow through since we had quite a long time in between. We took a little hiatus, not necessarily that there was any issue, but the holidays and things. And we've got some great things coming up we have our rewind, as you mentioned, and then we launch right into season 8 soon. So we've got some great ones coming up as we keep inching closer to that number 300.
Yep. So as we close this out, please know, listeners, that you can stay connected with us on Instagram and Facebook at the Business of Life Masterclass. Me on Instagram at the Stay at Work Mom, and Debbie Lundberg is Debbie Lundberg most everywhere. Debbie is Debbie Lundberg Coach on TikTok. If you liked what you heard, please rate us 5 stars. We are committed to providing you with 5-star guests just like Amy. So stay tuned, and thank you for joining us for this episode of the Business of Life Masterclass, the podcast for successful people embracing every chance to accomplish and experience all you can in business and in life.
Listen, choose, do. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have ever thought, gosh, I'd like a collaborator, I wonder what else I could do, it's likely that the answer is a coach. Hi, I'm Debbie Lundberg, Performance and Mindset Coach with Presenting Powerfully. And if you would like confidential coaching to drive you to the next idea, the next role, or even to figure out your own brand, please reach out to us at Presenting Powerfully, 813-494-4438. Thank you.